Hi guys, welcome to another episode of COVID Kitchen. Making a new recipe today, pasta al amatriciana. I think that's how you say that. It's one of the four great Roman pastas, and I've never made it before. It's tomatoey with some pork. I've had a fair amount of experience making pasta, so I probably won't screw it up too terribly badly. At any rate, ingredients. Turn this around. Whoop. Okay, so it's Parmigiano Reggiano. It's supposed to be Pecorino Romano, but I haven't got the Pecorino Romano, so I'm using the Parmesan. This is tomato paste and heap in half teaspoon red pepper flakes. And one thing this recipe does not call for is garlic, but I'm going to put in this little garlic clove because it's just got to make it better, right? Pound of pasta from Italy and canned tomatoes from Italy. These were grown on like the side of Mount Vesuvius, which is really cool. Um, yeah, actually, can you just imagine, in talking to your grandkids and like, wow, Grandpa, you had tomatoes from Italy in 2020? Like, yes. We also had electricity. And there was this magical thing called the internet that had all the knowledge of the world on it. Wow, Grandpa, what'd you use that knowledge for? Oh, mostly we use it to spread Nazi propaganda and re-elect a bunch of fascists who in turn broke the safety nets of most of the industrial countries in the world, causing this huge global pandemic which kills millions of people. There's also jamon, which is, um, from Spain. Um, this is used to be a pig that was eating acorns, and it is delicious. But it's also not very fatty, as you can tell. So it's going to be some of this here bacon fat, which I save for making bacon, and salt because salt. But I'm going to cook up these in here for a bit, and then add the tomato paste and garlic and the tomatoes. I gotta dice those suckers first because they're kind of whole. And then eventually toss that pasta into this pot of water that will eventually be boiling. And I don't know, grate some of that cheese and mix it all together. I hope it will be good. All right, developments. So, things I've done. I have put the pork products, you can kind of see that fat right there, in with about a half cup of water into this here skillet, where they will eventually simmer for a little bit and sizzle off that water, and then just continue to cook. That's what the recipe calls for. We was using guanciale, which is a cheek jowl that, well, I haven't got in my pantry. So that might have just been to render the fat out of it, but I'm following it anyway. Anyway, let's turn that up. I'm draining these here tomatoes, like I said, just to make it easier to chop those things up. Less moist. If you can see right there on the side of that, that is a smashed tiny clove of garlic. That's, that's a glass of wine. There's going to be wine in this dish. That just might be wine in me, though. There's, other wine over here. And I guess I got to grate that now. But that's what's happened so far. See you soon. Alrighty, I'm crushing these tomatoes because, well, I was trying to take them out to put them on the cutting board here to dice, and this is just easier. That there is the cheese, some of the cheese, most of the cheese, well, half the cheese, there's the rest of it. With some pork fat is eventually going to be part of the sauce, and that is the pork that is beginning to sizzle because the water has finally boiled off. So I should turn that down a little bit, cook that for a tad more, and then I'm going to cook this tomato paste and this garlic for a sec, well, say 30 seconds, and then put in these tomatoes that I'm currently fondling. Yes, I washed my hands. So I'll see you back in a second. Alrighty, this pork here is done cooking. Looks really good. Not very much fat in there, which is, I guess kind of knew that was going to be the case. So I'm adding this to the tomatoes because they're going back in here at the same time in a second. And that way I don't have to dip another bowl. There's a little bit of fat in there. Let's see if this works. Can always add some more fat. This here is the tomato paste and the red pepper flakes and the garlic. Go into this currently empty skillet. Burn that. So Alrighty. You'll notice I poured that from a box as opposed to from the glass that I've been, consuming. Yeah, I warned you that might happen. All right. So that's gonna sit there. I got these tomatoes in here. Probably gonna add a little bit more wine after this because there are certain flavor compounds in tomatoes that are really get activated if you add alcohol to them. Another reason tomato is a fantastic vegetable fruit. Depends who you talk to, I guess. Hell, if you talk to Ronald Reagan, ketchup is a vegetable. But that's, a school lunch story for a different day that we don't need to go into. So a little more in that in there. What the hell? Everything's like a simmer. Cook this down a little bit. And in the meantime, I'm going to turn this water on and start to boil. And I will talk to you again in a minute. Alrighty. The sauce has thickened slightly, as you can see. I should probably turn this off. Turn it off. And this pasta is ready to come out of that water. You need to save some of that water to loosen that up. So, I'll turn this around. Well, this is probably not going to be that interesting. You're going to watch me dump some pasta into a colander while trying to dump some into this measuring cup. I used to have this 4.5 quart saucepan that I would use for this sort of thing because you could actually cook pasta in it because you could put 4 quarts of water in there. Then it was like a non-stick sort of situation, and so turn off the stove. And so that got grody and had to get tossed. At any rate, now I use what I should have been using probably in the first place, that big, actually I guess it's small for a stock pot, but a stock pot that is currently sitting on top of a hot pad, which you can probably see right there. And now I'm just rambling into the camera, so I'm going to hit pause here and I'll come back to you. Alrighty, finishing this up. Have this. Problem with an electric cooktop is trying to find a place to put it. It's not hot. If you got gas, when you turn off the gas, you turn off the heat. You get electricity, the top stays hot for a bit. Pasta goes back in this pot. Sauce goes into the pot. Okay, sauce is in pot. That's all combined. Take this hot water. We should use this up. This is the, I guess it's all fat, really. Pork fat, and it's cheese fat, which is, not sure what kind of, I think Parmesan is a cow cheese. I'm not actually certain about that. No, it's not a pig cheese, because I don't think they even have pig cheeses. Sounds fairly disgusting anyway. That all goes in here. It's all loosened up. Put that around and combine it. This should hopefully be a porky, tomatoey. Oh wow, that does smell good. Holy cow. Add some Parmesan and some liquid pork fat to something, and you stir it around, and what you get is a really delicious smell. This is going to be great. I've been thinking about adding basil to it. It doesn't call for it, but put some more heat on this. Gotta reduce this a little bit more. I'm gonna add a little bit too much water to that. Okay. There you go. Nice thing about if you add the pasta water to your sauce, all the starch that's in that water will allow the sauce, cause, not allow, the sauce to adhere to your noodles a lot better. A lot better. I should have put the camera over here. You can see the difference between when I first started since I had the pasta water. But anyway, there you go. It's all sauced up and smelling really good. So I'm gonna plate this up, have some, and I don't know, tell you how it goes. Alrighty, folks, there you have it. You'll notice the green specks in that. That's because I added basil. I warned you that might happen. Um, I tasted it, was like, yeah, something missing. So I added basil, and it is now delicious. It's super tomatoey. You can taste the richness of the cheese and I guess all the pork fat. Um, it's not quite as salty as maybe I would have liked. I think the recipe called for less salt thanks to the salted pork that otherwise would have been in it, and I was adding hamon, which is less salty than that. So I didn't put salt in as much salt in the water to boil the pasta as I normally would. I stir this around because now I'm just you're looking at pasta, but it was no, I think probably a wise choice because otherwise it might have been too salty. As it is slightly underseasoned, I think. But then again, I really like a lot of salt. Um, I will say this: super tasty, and can be made with things you have in your pantry: canned tomatoes, tomato paste, some version of pork. You probably got bacon somewhere. Use that, and pasta. So it's one of the things about you know the current quarantine is that I can eat more pasta. Grandpa, were you a hero during the COVID epidemic? Yes, little Jimmy, I was. What'd you do, Grandpa? I started eating carbohydrates again. Really? Yes. You're my hero. At any rate, I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. Enjoy your pasta or whatever you got. Hopefully some wine. And I will talk to you all later. Bye.